Bonjour everyone, it's Sue, the French TexPat. It is time for my month 5, October 2025 budget recap. So I'm trying something a little bit new today. I am recording this with me, doing it live from my phone, and then I'm also recording my screen, and I'm going to be going back and forth. So I probably won't be looking at the camera much, but I will look back and forth, and I do have some notes on specific categories here that I will want to provide more explanation for. So that said, let's get going. Okay, so let's start off with fixed expenses. Nothing has changed too much this month. Living space stays the same. My subscription for my electric is the exact same. It's 78 euros per month. This past month, I used just shy of 56 euros. So at this point in time, I've got probably around 20 euros per month in the bank, as they would say. So that's already 100 euros for the year. So when this comes up for renewal next June, that will be factored into what my next year cost will be. But of course, at any time between now and then, and at that time, I can switch providers if I find one with a lower cost per watt. And right now, I have, I think, still the lowest one that's out there. Possibly there's one that might be a little bit less expensive, but it's not worth changing for because it's literally a matter of tenths of a centime. So we'll leave it as it is. Bank service charge. I did not read the fine print when I signed up for my bank account. I did, but I just didn't pay attention to it. It comes with a credit/debit card, and it's free. However, if you choose not to use it, then they do charge you a service fee, which is kind of like a bank account fee. And I didn't pay attention to that. So I got hit this past month with a close to 20 euro charge, contacted them, found out that's what it was for, that I did not use it for the prior 3 months. And so that was a compounded 3-month service charge. I did drop my credit/debit card down to a lower level, which allows me to take out less per week and less per month, but I haven't used it for that purpose at all anyway. So I didn't really need that. That said, this lower limit card has a penalty fee of only 3 euro per month if I choose not to use it. But I do have it noted now that I want to use that card at a minimum for purchases once per month, and then I can completely avoid that service fee. So again, learning curve. Next is renter's insurance. Because I have been with AXA Renter's Insurance for 3 months, I got a rebate because I have both my insurance and my bank account with them. So I got a rebate of about 29 euro, a little bit higher than that. So it's pretty much washes out the stupidity bank charge fee that I cost myself. So moving ahead, I probably won't get either one of these, but that's okay with me. I'd like to keep both of these line items 0. Moving ahead to food and household items. This month I spent about $262 on groceries, and you'll see I did dine out and eat out a lot more this month than I have in previous months. Part of that is because that there were several Americans that are considering moving here, and I went out a lot for coffee. That will not happen in November. And possibly there will be some more entertainment charges towards the end of the month and then into December. But November is pretty much a drink coffee at home Sue month. And I'm totally okay with that. Paper goods, office supplies, kind of average there. And then miscellaneous household. I did make some more purchases, and I did a short video about one of these, which was the TV. But I did purchase some other items towards the end of the month that needed to be made. I had originally factored these in if I was going to be getting a non-furnished apartment. But even though I got a furnished apartment, some of these things just aren't cutting it. So for example, I'm going to glance down to my notes. I did buy replacement drawer handles for the bathroom cabinet. They were heavily water damaged, and the landlord didn't really care about it, but I did. So I spent about 11 euro to get brand new cabinet handles, and for me, I'm thrilled with them. It was a good investment because I look at those 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. I bought a little bit of some household tools. I bought some dog fencing for the corners of my yard where Obi likes to dig up the dirt. That is where I am planting iris bulbs to pop up in the spring, so I don't want him digging in those corners. I mentioned the TV earlier. I also bought a small umbrella stand, which works not just for my umbrella, but also for my hiking sticks. I bought replacement bed pillows, 2 of them, because the 2 that I purchased when I first got here in June, Obi has almost shredded them. The pillow material is still inside the pillow, but he has basically nested in them and has made it so they're not even remotely comfortable as pillows anymore. They're just basically bags of fiberfill. I'll keep them so that he can continue to trash them, but I needed real pillows for me. Also, towards the end of the month, I bought a ceiling light fixture for the bedroom, and that replaces the big round paper Japanese lantern type thing there, and also in the light above me, which are just both hideous. This lamp is actually hideous. This lamp will eventually be going in the storage room too. But I also bought a bed frame, and I bought a mattress, and I bought a nightstand, which I've been needing the nightstand the whole time. In both beds, short IKEA LACK coffee tables were serving the purpose as night tables. And first of all, they're too low. And second of all, they don't have any drawers to be able to put things that you want to in a nightstand. So I'm very pleased with that. All said, I did a really good job of shopping carefully. As you can see, I spent about 805 euros on all of this that I'm talking about, which came out to under $1,000. And that is what I'm talking about when you spend to save. These things will last me for a very long time, and I'm excited to get them. In fact, the mattress and the night table have already arrived, and the bed frame is arriving today. In terms of health expenses, I did go and get lab work done for my médecin traitant here, who is a general practitioner. I got that ordonnance at the beginning of September, but chose not to do it until pretty close to the end of October. And I did that so that I could also get the COVID and flu vaccine and pick up prescriptions at the same time. So this is the total that I have spent in October. And although I don't have the formal attestation de droit yet, I know that I have been approved into CPAM, the Carte Vitale system. So all of this expenses, everything actually, since the 2nd of September, I will be able to submit to CPAM and I will get reimbursed close to 70%. So that's pretty awesome. Moving down the list, transportation. I did buy some blinkers for my bicycle, but also I took 2 cities car share trips. One was to take Pip down to Castres for her 3rd post-op appointment, and that was at the beginning of October. And then I also rented a car for 2 hours, a separate day, partly so that I could test it out to see what it was like with a immediate reservation system. I did it 20 minutes in advance. And also I did need to bring some heavy-duty things back to the house that required trunk space. So that is what I spent in October on transportation. Administrative documentation. This month, I did not have to spend anything for document translations or apostillations. I think I might have mentioned it last month. I will probably have to get some more documents, financial documents, apostilled in December, maybe towards the end of November, but definitely in December and early January, so that I can submit my required paperwork for year 2 and my titre de séjour, which is my residency permit. Pet care. I only bought 1 bag of dog chow this month. Vet care. I did have to take Pippi in for that 1 appointment at the beginning of October, and I did have what I think is her final appointment yesterday. It's about the same amount, and that will be on November's expenses, of course. And then the ubiquitous treats. In terms of entertainment, I had been paying $12 a month to Apple TV Plus in the US, and those prices just went up to $14 per month individually. So I went ahead and I purchased an annual subscription for $99, and that is the only entertainment subscription that I have right now, and I use it all the time. So that was a decent savings, but of course that bumped up October by the same amount. In sports and leisure, this big, huge category, I will refer back to my notes because there's a lot of things that are here. There is education. I signed up for a 8-month French course through the local community college type program here that runs out of the university. And that was €192 for the entire course, all 8 months. This is 2/3 of the cost, and the last third, which is I think €87, will come out of my bank account in November. There's also a €10 entrance fee to do a walk for breast cancer, which took place 2 weeks ago. And I also got a library card. In terms of gifts, I did attend a birthday soiree, and so I bought both chocolates and a birthday card for that. In terms of personal care, I spent about $18. I bought some socks and some hair accessories. And then with personal care and beauty, I did need to replace some moisturizer and hand cream. And then miscellaneous, I did have to send postage to CPAM twice, registered, and I also had to send a more expensive form of registered mail to ANTS, the driver's license agency, in which I enclosed my Texas driver's license and their required paperwork. And in fact, that French driver's license is probably going to be delivered today as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming to the house today, I think. All told, I spent €29.37, which translated to $3,443. So here's a good example of how the exchange rate is really putting a kibosh on people's finances. This is a significant difference in spending ability. Now, of course, until 2026, my Social Security income is still $27.84. It will be going up 2.8%. So roughly somewhere around $75 per month, which is nice. And that will go back into savings where a lot of this extra came from. So I'm about $780, quote unquote, in the hole, which came from savings. And that will continue to decrease. And in fact, in November, I can't really see, unless there's an emergency, and so I'm hoping I'm not putting the kibosh on myself here, I can't see going over my Social Security income at all because I have no purchases planned or needed. So that's pretty much it for October, and I'm very happy with the way things have shaken out so far, especially when I look back and think of some unexpected expenses, primarily Pip's surgery, which as that chapter is coming to a close, I will be doing, of course, a video all about how much that entire process cost from start to finish, from assessment of needing surgery to the final assessment and release from care. And that's something to consider, that things that are going to be thrown at you could put a serious dent in your budget, which it did in mine. So you need to make sure that you've got resources to be able to accommodate those, even if it's a minimal amount that you can then start to plump back up again, which I will be doing in the coming months. And I just hope that this helps you, if you're planning on moving to France, understand a little bit more about average costs or things that get tossed in there for whatever reason, or that throw a monkey wrench into your budget. And again, I thank you all for being here for this wild and crazy trip. I wish you all a bonne journée, and I will see you again soon. Au revoir.